Hello everybody, you're in Frag Addiction and my name is Tanya. Today I'd like to talk about Reflection Man by Amouage. It is probably the most popular fragrance of this house and it's still niche to its core because I don't even imagine and I've never smelled any dupe or even inspired by fragrance that could be coming close to this and has the same DNA and still is good enough. I think it's impossible. If you want to cheapen the ingredients, it rolls back significantly and becomes close to CK1, Calvin Klein the one. Yes, they're very similar in the concept, but they're a million miles away from each other in every other way. Maybe except versatility, and this is still questionable. We'll figure it out in a while. So, Reflection Man by Amouage is a woody floral musk fragrance for men. Was launched back in 2006. That was long ago. The nose behind this is Lucas Zuzak, I think. That's how you pronounce his last name. Who was taught by famous Jean-Claude Elena. He stands behind a lot of Hermes fragrances nowadays. A very famous nose. The top notes of Reflection Man is rosemary, red pepper berries, bitter orange leaves. It's the petitgrain. The heart notes, neroli, orris, jasmine, ylang ylang. Base notes, vetiver, patchouli, sandalwood, and cedarwood. So, if you can tell, the usual frankincense and leptinum that are a staple of Amouages are not in here. And yes, it's one of those offerings in the brand that are leaning more to European public, European style. The composition is very smooth and even transparent in the feel. Well, it is reflection after all, but it's still rich and dense. Love it. At times it's soapy. It's actually soapy for me right now. At times it's floral and very woody. Yeah, that cedar wood kind of pokes out sometimes. Patchouli here has the same quality as the sides of the bottle. They are mirrored. The patchouli shows different aspects. It comes into play in the heart. So it's about in 30 minutes after spraying. Firstly, this fragrance is green. And the patchouli is green and adds to the petitgrain and neroli, which is very masculine in this composition. And jasmine and ylang ylang along with orris root, it's the iris root, makes it soapy and very invigorating. Those green aspects are leading into the heart. And for me, Reflection Man is primarily a soapy and woody fragrance with some aromatic opening. It is kind of aftershave, but not aftershave. I'd say it's shaving cream style. The rosemary for me is prominent for about 20 minutes, the first 20 minutes. But that multi-layered structure is showing distinct differences between the wearers, especially on other people. And as for me, I'm very happy about it because this fragrance is so much more complex and fun than it seems to be at the first spray. When I first sprayed it a long time ago, I actually didn't understand the hype that much. I was like, oh yeah, this is so wearable. Yeah, that's why probably it's very popular. But it actually has so many layers to it. And on me, on my skin, it's just amazing. But I love it in the air also and from other people. It's like a sparkling jewel in the air, especially in the cold. This scent can be used even as ambient scent for the house. But on men, yeah, it is just amazing. Very stunning. Has a sophisticated touch. I don't think it's mature at all. And on the contrary, it makes the man perceive younger in many cases. And I'd love to smell this more on young people, on college students. It somehow smells like a smart individual for me. But it turns out that many guys younger than 25 or even sometimes 30 years old think that Reflection Man is too old. And of course it's too expensive. Well, it is expensive, but still, I don't believe it's old. It is very questionable thought out there. Musical associations. This is going to be interesting. Don't Go Chasing Waterfalls by TLC. I am aware this song is deeply sad. And thanks God, Reflection Man is not depressing for me. But on the other hand, the musical style, and there's everything else corresponding in here, as in that song. The a cappella chorus of girls, it's light but significant rhythm. It represents the woody bass for me. Perfect and natural sound, no auto-tune. The parts that they are rapping are also kind of on point, and even the feeling of calming but yet cold ambience and nostalgia of a kind. Oh, that song is so old. Yeah, it does have a nostalgia feel. Even when I was a child, that song made me think. This is what I'm saying. This reminds me of a smart individual. And that song still makes me think, just like Reflection Man provokes the thought process. Not in a sad way, but you really want to guess and guess with it. What is it showing at the very moment? What is opening up in your nose right now? So, depending on conditions, on the weather conditions, Reflection Man and the person wearing it, like, they communicate different ways. In the frost, it is just breathtaking. And I can even hear a sort of jingling of Santa's sleigh with it. Those florals, they stay super fresh for at least 3 hours. If you stay outside especially. But in the heat, it's smooth, woody, and this mix of woods becomes so groovy. And there's everything in this fragrance. I think the other fragrance that it reminds me of is Gentleman Boisé by Givenchy. But this resemblance between those two fragrances actually only in the base. Only in the base of the composition, not the top, not the heart notes. It shows up in about 3 hours for me. It's the chocolate patchouli that makes it so gorgeous and even seductive in a way. Great performance. Within first 2 to 3 hours, it is room filler. So please mind your sprays. But then it gets kind of closer and stays at least 7 hours. And I mean, maybe in the dead heat of summer, it's not going to be performing as well. But most of the time, in the air conditioning, you definitely have to take a shower to wash this off. And of course, on clothes, it's totally immortal. Immortal. So, guys, this Amouage is an absolutely versatile creation. And I dare to say good for blind buy for a man over 25. But if you're younger, please smell it first. I know some of the Gen Z can perceive this as a very 90s fragrance, maybe from their dad's or even grandpa's style. It has a distant reminder of that fragrance structure that was popular in those days. But overall, it's very masculine, fresh, and super classy, outgoing. I think it's kind of a Ventus of Amouages. It is like, oh, I don't remember where's the Ventus. There it is, a Ventus from the Amouages. You can definitely work in it or go down the aisle with your loved one. Give your wife, I don't know, the best date ever. Or even go snowboarding. You can go on the beach, drive a car, and anything you want in this fragrance, and it's actually has some character. It's not your typical designer fragrance anywhere, anytime. Dior Sauvage sprayed around and then went somewhere. No, it has something different from everything else. But it's super likable. Maybe not as much as Creed Aventus. Not as much. There it is, guy. I'm just keeping it really close to show you every time. But believe me, you'll get compliments with it from women and men of all ages. Thank you so much for watching. Please don't forget to subscribe and maybe hit the notification bell if you like my stories. Don't forget to like this video. YouTube algorithm really loves it. And I'll see you soon. Have a good time. Bye-bye.